One of the primary challenges when sketchnoting is deciding what ideas are worth putting down onto the page. Because you don't want to capture everything, right? You're not transcribing word for word. That's been shown to be a less effective way of note-taking. So what do you capture? Here's one way to filter the ideas that are coming in. Listen for the emotional response. Now, when I say listen, I mean that in two ways. The first is to listen to your own reaction. Pay attention to the way that you react emotionally to the ideas you're hearing. And the second is to literally listen to how the crowd reacts to a speaker, or how an interviewer reacts to the person they're interviewing. The reason that I think that's a potentially useful filter is because if there's an emotional response, that's a sign that something interesting is going on, and it's worth exploring what precisely that interesting thing is and why it's interesting. Here's an example. When I was taking sketch notes of a podcast conversation about language learning, there was a moment when the guest spoke with an inflection in their voice, and that phrase got a laugh from the interviewer. Here's the clip.
A lot of people in the language learning community that are a bit more, like, especially the informed people that make videos and such, they talk about how, looking at words is a bad practice sometimes, or, a lot of people talk about extensive reading. And so this is kind of how I was being influenced, but I realized the fact is I love looking at words, I love it. And I realized that works for me because I like it and because it excites me. And so, you know what, who cares if theoretically that might be a less efficient approach, perhaps, according to some people.
That one quote about the love of words ended up connecting to the two ideas that I found to be the most interesting from that conversation. That in language learning, emotional engagement trumps best practices, and that it really boils down to getting past that 2K word mark. What that suggests to me is that you can use the source of the emotional reaction as a core component of your sketch notes, because it's likely that it will connect to other important ideas in a talk or in a conversation. And that emotional tie-in already makes for a stronger connection in your brain. So when you add to it some visual hooks as well, you're creating multiple pathways to get back to that information in the future. So keep this approach in mind yourself the next time you're sketchnoting. Listen for laughter or gasps in the audience. Pay attention to when you feel anger or excitement about something being said. And then use the source of that emotional response as a core component within your notes. Good luck experimenting with this idea. If you'd like to hear a bunch of other ideas about how you can build and use your sketchnoting skills, check out our course, An Introduction to Visual Note-Taking. That will give you a solid foundation to work from. And if you're interested in applying visual note-taking to the task of learning a new language, check out my new course, Learn a New Language with Sketchnotes. You can find the link to those two courses, as well as the 4 others that make up our course library, down below. As always, thank you for watching. Good luck in all of your experiments with visual note-taking, no matter what you're using this skill for, and I'll see you again soon.